pet peeves. So we are live with another episode of BS Busters, and this one might be a short one because not a lot of not a lot of bullshit happened this week,
which is surprisingly good.
Yeah, it's a good thing for gamers, not good for a podcast about bullshit busting. So, let's get into it. So here's what we have. We're going to be getting into a few topics, not a lot. Games we're looking forward to this year. Our enthusiasm for E3 this year, rated from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, and why. And then we have a free topic section. And then we have 4 questions here. We can add more questions if you ask them in the chat section. We'll gladly answer them and ask as many questions as you would like.
And we'll answer them to the best of our abilities, of course.
Yes. No personal questions, no troll questions, but serious video game questions, video game industry, business-related questions, we'll answer them. So with that being said, let's get to it. But before we do, I'll let Jewel introduce herself. Jewel.
So, gentlemen, boys and girls around the world, this is Jewel Eli Moonstar, ready to get things started. And if anybody's wondering why we have a silent one in the house, Pinks is doing something on their own end.
Yeah, this is Pinky Don can't be with us, but I'll do his introduction. This is Pinky Don, one of the admins of Video Game Facts. He also has a discus. I'll ask him to give you that information later. I don't have it on me right now, but Pinky Don's here. He's just chowing down on his turkey burger. He'll be back. So let's get forward to it. Let's dive into this. So topic number 1, what games are you looking forward to this year?
Well, that's a hard one for me, since I usually don't have much news to go on when it comes to video game news. As in, I usually wait for an announcement that interests. I haven't gotten much other than Octopath, and considering who's the one that's supposed to be making it, I'm a little worried. So, if anything, I'm happy that it's coming, but I'm worried about.
Okay. I'm looking forward to a couple of games this year. I'm looking forward to Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, because I like the first game so much. And that's a PC game. I think it's also coming to Xbox One and PS4, but I'm getting it on PC because it's a isometric RPG, and that's really the type of game that really needs to be played on a PC. And I'm also looking forward to on the Switch. A game that's coming out next month called Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, that's the one I mentioned.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that game. Because
I'm looking forward to it, but I'm already worried about it because of who's making it.
Well, I mean, these are the people who made Bravely Default, so they have a stronger pedigree than Tokyo RPG Factory, those hacks. So for me, I'm not worried about it, because Bravely Default and Bravely Default 2nd were both really good games. I think the first Bravely Default was better than the second one, because the second one just feels like a retread, really, in a lot of ways, even though they added new jobs and stuff like that. But I mean, it's still a solid game. And it's not made by Tokyo RPG Factory, which I don't know why they took that pretentious ass name, because their RPGs are mediocre at best. I Am Setsuna was mediocre. Their other game, I forgot the name of it, that was kind of mediocre too. I know some people are going to be like, how dare you say that? Look, I'm just telling you my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. You could disagree with me. I don't care. But yeah, So yeah, that's the game I'm looking forward to. I don't know what Pinky Guns. Oh, okay. Well, we're only on the first topic. So what games are you looking forward to this year? Oh, and obviously Smash Brothers. But I'm cautiously optimistic towards Smash Brothers because if it's like Smash Brothers 4 and doesn't have a single player, then I'm not gonna get it. Like I don't need that game.
It's still a game that
I find people who
to grab.
And I find the people who want single player in Smash to be hypocrites because they were the same people who criticized Subspace Emissary in Brawl when it first came out.
I think you're making a very generalized statement because I'm one of the people who want a single player, and I wasn't complaining about Brawl. I mean, I wasn't complaining about Subspace Emissary.
You could blame it on the popular YouTube ranters back in the day who didn't like Subspace Emissary.
I think what you had was a local minority. I mean, I think the people that you have to get angry with are the people who were like, and I'm gonna call names because I don't give a shit. The people who didn't like Subspace Emissary were people like Shokio. Like people who think that Smash Brothers needs to be this hardcore competitive thing. Smash Brothers is an arcade game. Its first and foremost thing is to be fun. It's not this, like, if you're looking for a deep, intense fighting game.
Street Fighter,
go play Street Fighter or SNK.
Yeah, or Blaze Blue for star's sake.
Or Blaze Blue or Tekken.
Or Guilty Gear.
Or Guilty Gear or Samurai Showdown. Like, Smash Brothers is not meant to be because it's not meant to be this well-balanced fighting game. I don't know why people want it to be like that. You can play it like that, but it's not. That's not its primary thing. It's like you can play.
It's a mode.
Yeah, it's you know, but yeah, and I still don't think Smash Brothers 4, even if you combine the sales of the 3DS and the Wii U versions of that game, I still don't think it sold as well as Smash Brothers Brawl on the Wii. So, like, that tells you something. I mean, Nintendo, I hate to say this, but the Smash Brothers games need to go back to being more casual and less core.
Thank you.
I mean, I hate to say that, but sorry. If you play those games as hardcore, then good for you. But it's not gonna. They shouldn't.
I play them as both a party game and at times a competition game because, well, some like to
you have
beat somebody in the face.
Like that. Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. I can play Smash Brothers games either way because, like, I was there at the beginning. I was playing Smash Brothers on the 64, GameCube, Wii U. I've played them. I've played all of them. The 3DS. Okay, I've played all of them, and I've played them both competitively and casually. But I'm going to tell you right now, I've had more fun playing Smash Brothers casually than competitively.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed playing with bombs on, with explosives on all the time, and life down to 1 minute of life.
Although it is fun to play competitively and kick someone's ass with a quote unquote trash character. That's why I always say tiers are bullshit, because if you're really good, you can kick someone's ass with a low tier character. If you're good enough. So
I was gonna say I thought tiers are for queers, but
well, I mean, like people are like Jigglypuff sucks. I've kicked people's ass with Jigglypuff.
Well, Jigglypuff is currently the worst character in the Smash 4 tier list.
No, that was Pichu.
I said Smash 4, not Melee.
No, Pichu sucked in Smash 4 too. I think Pichu was worse in Smash 4, wasn't he?
Pichu never appeared in Smash 4.
Really? Smash 4 Brawl? Sorry, Smash 4?
Nope, only in Melee.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I haven't played that game in a while.
And unfortunately for you, Pichu is not the worst character in Melee. It's actually Kirby.
No, Kirby. Kirby still has his stone attack.
It's according to Melee's tier list.
Yeah, but tiers are bullshit. That's what I just said. I said if you're good enough, tiers can just it doesn't really. The only time, the reason I say tiers are bullshit in Smash Brothers is because basically if you're skilled enough, you can tear somebody's ass up with a quote unquote low tier character. If you know if you're good enough with that character. Really, I think what they need to use as a classification for Smash Brothers is what they used in the original Smash Brothers. Weight class, because weight class matters the most. A heavy character will kick a light character's ass because they can just take more damage. It takes more to knock them out.
Yet the top tier character in the original Smash 64 is a lightweight character.
Be surprised if that would be Kirby.
Nope, it's Pikachu.
Not really, no. That's why I say tiers are bullshit. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So what game are you looking forward to this year?
Let's see. Besides Smash Brothers, there's also let's see. Trying to think of which Nintendo title is also coming on 2018.
So be careful.
Let's see. I know it cannot be Metroid Prime 4, nor Pokemon, nor Bayonetta 3, because I know those are for 2019 or more.
Say Smash Brothers.
That leads down to Yoshi and Fire Emblem 16.
To tell you the truth, I'm not even really looking forward to Fire Emblem on the Switch. I'm Fire Emblemed out. I need a break from Fire Emblem.
Say,
and those exorbitant ass DLC prices.
if you think the DLC prices are torment, try playing the.
What?
If you think the DLC, try the mobile game.
Now I remember. I'm looking forward to Mario Tennis Aces.
Yeah, that game looks like it's gonna be fun. I'll probably get that. If it's $50, if it's $60, I'll wait. So that's the first topic out of the way. So number 2, I'm gonna ask this question once a month or once a week until we get to E3. So what's your enthusiasm for E3 this year, rated from 1 to 10, and why? 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest.
Let's see. For Microsoft, my enthusiasm is
no, just overall E3, not for each, just overall your enthusiasm.
Let's see. Aside from Nintendo's E3 conference, my overall enthusiasm for E3 is still going to be in the low, like somewhere around 4 or lower.
Okay. And why?
Because the same old. Games that will be announced that's supposed to come out this next year, but then get delayed to later years. Case in point, the whole Final Fantasy VII, Shenmue 3 controversy.
Well, Aries 3 has a comment that he made during the Smash Brothers thing where he says there's no such thing as a fun game to these major league gaming tryhards. But I just want to get that out of the way before we continue on.
And of course the cringy music performances, usually from Ubisoft
and Microsoft.
And of course Ubisoft's talk show hosts trying to be edgy with the audience.
I like Alicia. Shit, I forgot her name. I like Alicia, whatever her name is, the tall, curvy black lady. I like the tall, curvy black lady, but then again, I like tall, curvy black women. So, and plus she's got a degree from Harvard, so she's got to be really intelligent. I like tall, curvy, intelligent black women. I'm sorry, and she recently got divorced, so she's on the market. But that has nothing to do with gaming. That's just I like tall, curvy black women.
And
so, nothing to do with gaming. That's why I like you.
EA trying EA trying to hype up the latest multiplayer-based game with using YouTubers and celebrities, like they did with Battlefront 2.
Oh, you mean and the guy didn't even play the damn game? Like he hadn't even played it. He was like, "Yeah, this game is great." It's like you didn't even play it. Yeah, but it's great.
And of course, Sony padding out their conference by talking about how much their consoles and accessories sold throughout the year or so.
Impressive. They did a count of how many times somebody stroked the buttons.
Look, the only time it matters, I'm going to get a little dirty here, but I've been listening. I've recently been completing my my adult blue records from old black comedians from the 60s and 70s. The only time it matters how many times you stroke a button is if you're with your girlfriend. Okay?
And, and I also forgot more VR pandering.
Yeah, that's the only time it matters. Aside from that, if you're a dude, you're like, man, I stroked that PS Home button 50 million times. I'm like, damn, who cares? Maybe that's why you don't have a girlfriend. You're stroking the wrong button. But anyway, so yeah, Jewel, would you like to give your enthusiasm at E3 this year from a 1 to 10 and why? I'll give you a chance to catch your breath before you.
You just get me a good laugh, so thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm keeping a little bit on the positive side with a 6.5, because I'm including Nintendo in this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, well, you're gonna see it hit the 2s, and I mean the number.
All right. Okay. So, and why?
So what about yourself?
Okay, well, I'm going to give it a 3. And the reason I give it a 3 is because I'm pretty sure Nintendo is going to do stellar, but there's three parts of E3. There's the big 3. There's the big third parties, and then there's like occasionally you'll get like the small tier developers show up and show something cool, like mid tier, small tier. And I think the small tier are going to bring their A game because they have to, or as best as the A game as they can do. And I think that Nintendo's going to bring their A game because they haven't really been fucking up for a while now. But I think Microsoft and Sony are going to show something that isn't anything at all, like dust in the wind. And this is an E3 where Microsoft really should be showing a lot of really good, high quality games. But I don't think they're going to do it. Like I think they're going to show
at least they ain't going to be exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah, right. I don't think any of the games they're going to show are going to be exclusive. Like they're not going to give anybody a reason to own Xbox One showing any of these games. So I don't see the point. Plus, Microsoft won't release sales numbers for their
Xbox One X
for any of the Xbox things. They won't release sales numbers for the Xbox One, the Xbox One X, and I'm like, that's kind of, I mean. The fact that you won't release sales numbers, that's really shady. Yeah, that's shady as fuck. So, yeah, so overall, I think Nintendo and some of the, and maybe, I'm interested to see what Ubisoft is doing because they're supposed to be showing more of Beyond Good and Evil 2. And even though Ubisoft's been fucking up royally since last year, by and large.
As I said, 6.5 with Nintendo, a number 2 without.
Yeah,
at least for me.
I mean, they've been. I mean, here's the thing: Rabbids Cross Mario. I know that game did relatively well, but they're also selling people South Park, the Fractured Butthole, and that game. I mean, here's the thing. they're selling it again, and that game is overpriced. It's like $60 plus a $30 season pass.
Flip them.
Yeah, I'm not buying that game. I'm not spending $60 on a South Park tactical RPG that can be beaten in 30 hours. No. So no, I'm not. No, that's not a $60. Maybe a $40 game. Maybe even a $50 game. Maybe the expansions maybe $20. But no, I'm not buying it now. So no. But yeah, a 3 out of 10. I think like here's the thing: you have a classroom of like 10 students, and only 3 of them are bringing their A game, and the other ones are failing. That's not a high. That's still a 3 out of 10. You're still not doing that well. So yeah, it's a 3 out of 10 for me. I mean, because EA is probably going to show off Anthem. It's going to be Anthem is going to be the nail in the coffin for BioWare. That game's going to come out. It's going to flop. And it's gonna BioWare's ass is grass and EA is the lawnmower. Yeah, I agree with that. So here we go with number 3, the free topic. Who wants to go first?
Free topic.
Yeah. Oh, before we do, 8Ball 1970 says, I'm looking forward to Harvest Moon Light of Hope Special Edition. I have Harvest Moon Light of Hope on PC. It's that game is not very good. I'm just gonna say right now. Wolfenstein 2, yeah, I could see that. And Octopath Traveler for the Nintendo Switch. Okay, cool. Those are 2 pretty good games. But go ahead, free topic time. Yeah.
All right.
Well, Pinksoul is on to something.
Oh, I was about to, but then I realized what I was about to talk about is going to be discussed on number 4.
Okay. All right then.
Whatever. So I had to think of something else for a free topic.
Free topics. Anyone here see any good movies aside from
Infinity War?
Yeah. Infinity War? Anyone?
I'm just gonna ask a quick question before we go into our surprise questions. Is there a difference between pre-purchase and
pre-downloads, pre-orders, and pre-purchases?
A pre-purchase means that you have an intent to, like, you pay the full price. But even if it's a pre-purchase, you should be able to cancel your purchase and then return it. Like, I'm sorry, like, and pre-orders where you just put a little bit down and then you basically, pay for it later.
Yeah, at least I was wondering on that because I see a bigger difference between purchasing and ordering, even if in a sense there's complications for each.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're basically just derivations of the same thing, personally. Like, because at the end of the day, you're putting your money down on a product that is not coming out, and you should be able to cancel your order if you don't want it. And I think like every other thing that you can pre-purchase or pre-order has a thing where you can say, okay, I don't want it. Like if you pre-purchase a meal at a restaurant, you say, hey, I want this meal delivered to this place, but then you change your mind. Nah, I feel like I want pizza instead. You can call them and say, I cancel my order. Like, you can do that and get your money back. So, like, that's just me.
Now I've thought of something for a free topic. AA just posted a tweet. Just shared a tweet showing a comparison between the Wii U and Switch's titles.
Yeah, and I remember right, they said is praising to high heaven how the Switch is.
Yeah, and it's the same damn games. There also was a tweet put up by Induo where he's like they like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze and and literally like
does it involve GameSpots?
Oh, I remember that
well,
one.
I mean, it's basically you can go to various websites and it's almost the same review. I think the only reason that game got reviewed as harshly as it did was because it was on the Wii U. And the reason that they gave it a lot of slack now because it's on the Switch. And it's not because the game has changed. It's because one console is hot and the other one was not. That's the only difference. And that's bullshit. I mean, that's why. I mean, you know, that's.
I was reminded of Alex's statement about how Dreamcast games were previously panned by the critics, but then those same critics praised them when they were ported onto the PS2.
Well, I mean that could be the case. I know a lot of games are like that. I mean, like there's some games where the port is better. Like Gauntlet Legends on the Dreamcast, while graphically it looks great, is not a good port. Like because it doesn't add anything new. It's the arcade game, but the arcade game's kind of shallow as fuck. You know, Shenmue, not Shenmue. What's another arcade game? Just like Crazy Taxi, the arcade game. It's fun, but I mean, you can't just put that game on a console and be like, yeah, it's the arcade game. Because arcade games are meant to be played in like 2 or 3 minute spurts, and then you die and you give them more money. You can't. That does not translate well to a home console experience when people are used to playing a game for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 hours of gameplay. You know?
Right.
Like, so, I mean, I think we could do an entire podcast talking about how various old school arcade companies that went to the home console market and were trying to port the arcade experience to the home kind of shot themselves in the ass. Because arcade games should never be just like a home console game. Like they're two different things. But yeah, I mean, I like, here's the thing. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is not a bad game. It's I mean, I would say if I had to give a numerical score to it, I don't like giving numerical scores. I give it a 7 out of 10. It's not the best Donkey Kong Country 2. You know, it's okay. Like to me, I still think the rare Donkey Kong Country games are better. I just think they're how can I put this?
Of them, it feels like it's a real strong platformer, right?
The gameplay feels better. Yeah, jumping and moving, traversing the environment in the rare Donkey Kong games it feels better. It's more visceral than in the retro ones. But that's just my own personal opinion.
So back to the image. Falcon Launch saw it himself, and he says that this is a dumb picture because it's comparing 4.5 years of the Wii U against 1.5 years of the Switch. And if Nintendo dropped those games the first year and a half of the Wii U, the conversation around the system would have been different.
No, I don't think it would have been different. I think it would have been because basically people had preconceived notions of wanting to hate that system. Okay, like they went in, it had a negative connotation, and people were just going to go into it.
It was hit with the bad hammer all the way
back to 2011.
Before the system even came out, people were like, what the fuck is this? You know, like they already had negative connotations and were like hating on it. And here's what people don't seem to understand. The Switch, before it came out, people were hating on it. The difference is that the Switch took off financially. Like commercially, it was a hit. But if the Switch had been struggling at the gate, they would have said, yeah, Nintendo fucked up again. So, I mean, like, here's the thing. Every time you drop new hardware, it's kind of like what Iwata and Kimishima said. Like when you drop new hardware, you're starting at zero, right? It's like all the goodwill you had before is gone. You got to start new. You don't believe me? Go ask Microsoft about that shit. With the 360, they had like 85 million sales, almost 100 million if you include all the trade-ins and people selling, trading in their old shit to get new shit. And replacing 360s through the Red Ring of Death. But when the Xbox One came out, they started at zero. Okay. and the Xbox One has not been doing well. The Xbox One is a disappointment compared to the 360. So I mean, it's kind of like, where can you go from there? I mean, Game Vice has a comment that he just said. Or sorry, not Game Vice. Aries 73. Can we all agree that the people at Game Vice need to go play in traffic? I won't go that far because that's wishing death on people.
I said tempting to try it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Can we? Here's what I'll say about the Game Vice people. They made a product that goes with another product. They are not licensed. They did not buy a license with Nintendo in order to sell that product to go with their product. So you're kind of taking your device's life cycle in your hands when you buy that, right? Like, and this isn't the first time this has happened. I mean, there's always been third-party products that kind of had a chance of messing up your device, right? Like Game Genie, if you did it wrong, could mess up your games. Same thing with some of those other like third-party things that they had back in the day. So I mean, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, personally, I'm just gonna keep it real. I think that having other, I'm not one of those people who's like, well, you should buy everything first party, because Nintendo's first party shit is kind of expensive, and some of it is like okay, I'll give you an example. It's kind of a ripoff to have to pay $60 for a game that you can get physical for the Wii U for $20.
Or the Joy-Con box.
I thought you were going to talk about the Nintendo Labo thing.
Well, I mean, I could, but like here's the thing. Labo to me is a ripoff. It's just a straight up ripoff. For what? But I mean, it like, okay, if it's something that you're getting that you can do with your kids in order to get them interested in science, technology, engineering, and math, there's better stuff out there that's the same price or slightly cheaper for that. If you just want to play games with your kids, there's better games out there that you can play with your kids than Labo. But look, they can do whatever they want to. I mean, Labo isn't doing too well in Japan because Japanese are like, this is some bullshit. Even they know it's bullshit. But look, listen, here in America, look, if they want to go with that, they can knock themselves out. I personally think it's bullshit. If other people want to get it, that's their prerogative. Me, like I said, I think Labo is bullshit. I stand by that. For what, like, if you're a parent trying to get your kids into science, technology, engineering, math, do-it-yourself type of kits and stuff like that, there's better things out there than Labo that are cheaper. So, but I know other people have other things they want to do with their money. So, any other topics anyone wants to go into with and get in? Oh shit, we have a question, but I'll save that for later. Ask more questions if you guys want to. In the chat section, we'll get to those in the question section, because the more questions we have, the more satisfied our viewers will be, probably. So, any other free topics you guys want to cover?
I think I'm set.
All right, so we can get to these questions. So the first one is from Trinell83. This was a question he made on my Square Enix video earlier this week, where I was talking about how Square Enix has kind of been effing up lately. So he says, so on hearing this segment regarding Square Enix, should they bring out their other franchises and operate as a moderate tier developer / producer and lay off the AAA for a while? Your guys' thoughts on that question?
Likely, yes.
All right.
Yeah, definitely as well.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think, yeah, they should. The problem with Square Enix is that because Final Fantasy VII did so well, they went all in on Final Fantasy to the detriment of everything else. It's kind of like if Nintendo basically said, well, shit, Mario for the Wii Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 did so well for the Wii, well, to hell with Zelda and Metroid and F-Zero and new IPs. We're just going to go all in on Mario. And that basically kind of would that would weaken the overall Nintendo brand, because basically all these other IPs would just languish away. Now, Nintendo has a ton of IPs that they don't do anything with, but their main standbys are there. Donkey Kong, Mario, Link. There hasn't been an F-Zero game, but you know who Captain Falcon is because of Smash Brothers. Their Kirby games, Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem's getting a little worn out. I think they need to give Fire Emblem a fucking break. But you get what I'm saying. Like, they have a good, you need to have a bevy of stuff. You can't just keep on putting out the same thing over and over and over again, unless you're an EA fan, because they just put out Madden every damn year and it's the same game basically, and no one says anything. But yeah, they need to lay off the AAA for a while. Maybe they need to have a 5-year plan, and for the next 5 years they just put out moderate tier games, moderate and small games,
Project Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, stuff like that. Maybe bring over some of the Dragon Quest spin-offs that didn't come to America, like Rocket Slime 1, 2, and 3. Maybe another Dragon Quest Monsters, because that uses an old-ass engine. That'd be easy to port over. Maybe put it on Steam. Maybe have Dragon Quest Monsters 1, 2, and 3 brought to on PC. Stuff like that. There's stuff that they could do with their, maybe farm out their IPs that are just sitting there doing nothing to indie studios, and maybe give them a small budget, like $500,000. Because they're spending all this money on shit that doesn't matter. So why not give $500,000 to a small indie studio who's hungry and really knows how to pinch a penny, or a yen in the case of Japan, and just have them make a Lufia game. And it doesn't, it could be a Lufia game on PC and the 3DS, right? And it's in Japan. It goes on PC and the 3DS. It sells really well on 3DS. Then they take that game and they port it over in America to the 3DS and maybe PC. Just shit like that. Just stop trying to do everything AAA, because you guys are an RPG house. No one has ever said an RPG needs to look good in order to sell, because some of the best RPGs ever did not have the greatest graphics. They had a distinct art style, but they didn't have the greatest graphics. Like Chrono Trigger has a distinct art style. It doesn't have the greatest graphics. Mario RPG has a very distinct art style. It doesn't have the greatest graphics. Final Fantasy VII is not a good-looking game. It has not aged well at all. But a lot of people love that game because it got them into RPGs. So, stop trying to make everything this big, grand, AAA, $100 million. It doesn't need to be that. Yeah. So I guess we can get to some of these other another viewer subscribed question. Do any of you guys think that Wonderful 101 will get the same treatment by reviewers if it's ported? And that's from Weister20.
If I heard that right, do you think we get the same treatments of same treatments if we have games that are imported from one system to another?
I think Wonderful 101 does need
some more recognition.
Yeah, it's a good game. It does need more recognition. I don't think it'll, because here's the thing. Platinum games are very, Platinum makes games for gamers, right? Because Platinum Games is made by people who like playing video games, but they make their games for gamers. Their games are not easy for casual people to just pick up and play. You're never going to pick up and play a Platinum game and be like, well, I play Tetris and Breakout. If you're a casual gamer and someone throws your ass into a Platinum game, you're going to suck at that game, okay? You're not going to be very good at it, okay?
Given how popular the Switch is right now, I'm pretty sure that critics will also give Wonderful 101 high scores.
Initially they gave it like people like, I can't finish this game. It's a 4 out of 10. I think the highest score it had was 6 out of 10 in a lot of places. In some places, I think they might up that by two points. So the 4 out of 10 will become a 6 out of 10. The 6 out of 10 become a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's ever going to be a 10 out of 10 game, because the nature of Platinum games is that their games are very hardcore centric. They are not for, I just casually play video games every once in a while. Look, Platinum ain't making games for you. I think the only kind of casual game,
it's a challenge.
The only casual game they're kind of making is that game that they're doing with DNA. That looked, when I first saw the trailer for it, I'm like, oh, this is an Okami sequel. And then I found out, no, it just used a lot of the art style from Okami, and it's on your smartphone. I was like, fuck this. And I walked away from it. But yeah, that might be a little bit casual centric, but don't be surprised if it's hardcore, because Platinum, they can't help themselves. Their games are very hardcore. Weister20 says, here's what will make Square money: a Final Fantasy 1 through 6 collection. Yeah, that'd be cool, but would it have the art style of those shitty iOS and Android ports, or would they go with the original art style? Because they ported Chrono Trigger as something easy. Should have been a very easy way to do it, and they fucked that up because that's what they do. Because Square Enix is the Peter Quill of video game companies. Like a simple plan, and all they have to do is do this one thing, and they fuck it up. Let's get this next question.
Let's see. I would accept a Wonderful 101 port if it was paired with Wonderful 102, like they did with the first two Bayonetta games.
Yeah, but they'd have to make a new Wonderful 101 game, which, I mean, I would like to see a sequel. Actually, I would like a spin-off where instead of you having all of these heroes, it's like a standard beat 'em up where you're just like that one character. That'd be cool.
Didn't Kamiya express interest in making a spin-off based on Wonder Blue?
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, personally, I like Wonder Red more than Wonder Blue, but whatever. Just because the ending of that game is so badass. Like, spoiler alert, the ending of Wonderful 101, if you get a chance, if you don't care about spoilers, go and look that shit up on YouTube. It's one of the most badass endings ever.
Also because of how it finishes.
Well, just the finish. Just like, let me put it this way. The main character punches the villain so hard with all of the other heroes that his clothes rip off. I mean, do you know how hard you have to punch somebody to make your clothes get ripped off? That's some badass shit.
That sounds like an episode of Kill la Kill.
Basically, yeah, it's some badass shit. I mean, really, Wonderful 101, don't let that art style fool you. It is, Wonderful 101 feels like it's in the same universe as Beautiful Joe. It really does. Art style.
Yeah.
But
makes it all the better.
Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I think if they re-released it, it wouldn't get that high of a score. They might reevaluate it, but like I said, Wonderful 101 is not. The problem with, like I've said this before, the problem with Platinum is that their games are so core-centric that they don't know how to get casuals into their games without kicking their ass. But that's how old school games are. But the thing is like, we're in an age now where casuals want to be eased into it. Nintendo's figured this out perfectly. Platinum, not so much. You know, that's their problem.
If anything, I would introduce gamers to Kirby. Yes, easy death, lots to master, and to find.
Yeah. Kirby games.
Now we can move on to the next question.
Yeah, the next question is, what are your favorite games to relax with? Or game, if it's just one game. Like you have a bad day, you just need something to relax with. You play this game and it kind of calms you down a little bit.
Let's see, playing a game of in our arms calms me down.
All right.
Well, RPGs really do that for me, though. Most mostly I go into fantasy, the cooking, forging, and sewing mini games. Not the sewing mini games. No,
you must be a Fantasy Life fan.
Kind of, but if anything, that game actually, when I went back to it, it's like I never left it.
Yeah, you know what I like about Fantasy Life is how it has this epic music whenever you do something, like no matter what your profession is, like, which makes sense if you're like a mercenary or a paladin or a hunter. But then you have epic music when you're fishing, or if you're a miner and you get like a mother. I'm like, damn, everything. It's like this ultimate king tree, and it plays this epic music. You're like, damn, that's badass.
This is deep in treasure. I'm gonna cut it up.
Yeah. I mean, I think Level 5 kind of effed up when they were like, yeah, we're gonna put the next Fantasy Life on mobile. I'm like, why?
What the
Yeah. Why? Why would you do that?
You had the perfect audience.
Yeah, all they had to. I mean, I can understand if they were like, okay, we're gonna bring it to 3DS and Switch.
Yeah,
but the smart, like the like smartphones and tablets. I'm like, why? I don't get that. Whatever.
And the worst of it is, I paid for the Origin Islands expansion.
So did I.
Even I know how good that is.
But it was only $750, which I mean, really is not ultra expensive. I mean, I have to give Level 5 this much credit. When Level 5 does expansions and DLC, they don't they don't Namco Bandai that shit. Or Square Enix. They don't Square Enix it. So your Fantasy Life / RPGs. What's your relaxing game, Raphael? I mean,
let's see. I did mention Splatoon and ARMS.
All right. I guess it's up to me.
And then, of course, there's the Me Plaza mini games.
Yeah, those are.
You still play those?
But unfortunately, I might have lost them forever since.
So now you gotta start from scratch, huh?
Yeah, because when I was transferring. When I was transferring data from my old micro SD card onto a new one.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing happened to you, Jewel?
I had the facepalm because I'm glad that me, since I actually had to switch game cards.
Mm-hmm.
I felt sorry for you because that's a lot of progress if you purchase some of those games.
Yeah, but the good thing is that you don't have to repurchase them. Knock on wood. But all your progress has been,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that I was trying to endure losing all that data managed to gain from. I mean, all that progress you gained. It's 100 play coins.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to single one of those play coin purchases that you've done over and over for certain things.
Well, here's hoping that with Nintendo's premium service coming out later on this year, they'll have the option for you to upload for you to upload or download your progress to your PC or your laptop. So then you can just if something happens and you lose all your data on your console or your handheld, you can just put it back on there, which would be cool. But this is Nintendo, and they're control freaks. They want to have a controlled ecosystem or whatever. So you never know.
I don't blame them on that, at least.
I mean, here's the thing. I understand them wanting to have a controlled ecosystem, but the way I look at it is like this. Look, at the end of the day, if someone's going to hack their system, they're gonna find a way to do it. Either way, why punish everybody who have legitimate reasons to want to be able to save their data or move it around or stuff like that. Like I don't, whatever. I didn't tell my relaxing game. My relaxing game is my favorite games to relax with are tactical RPGs and just RPGs in general. I'm like Joel on that. My guilty pleasure relaxing game is Skyrim, which is it's not a good game. It has way too many bugs to be a good game, but just for some reason, just wandering around doing stuff in Skyrim is fun for me, especially playing through all the little expansions and modded, community-made mods and content, stuff like that. I like that. So here's the next question. What are great bingeable games? Like games that you can just sit down and just binge the hell out of?
Pretty much any video game that has quick time events like Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls or something. And of course the upcoming Detroit Become Human.
You serious?
Because you get to take a shot how many times someone screws up the quick time event.
I guess. Jewel?
Have fun if that's a drinking game and they have
My bingeable game that like I just basically like a game that I can just sit down and just play the hell out of are old 2D platformers.
Oh, that's what bingeable means? I thought it means like video games you can take shots with.
No. Bingeable means something that you can sit down and just play.
Oh, okay.
And like go through a lot of them. Like for me, it's the Super Mario games. I have Super Mario All-Stars. I can binge all those games. Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3. Those are bingeable. Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze, not so much. Because there's artificial difficulty in the controls, but the original Rare games, those games, I can just sit down and play through those games, no problem.
Let's see. For bingeable games, that'll be obviously the platformer games.
Yeah,
like Mario and Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby Superstar is a great bingeable game because sometimes I'll just sit down, I'll just play through all of those games and 100% all of them, and just they're just fun games to play. Just to sometimes sit down and just play through. Number 4.
You guys skipped me on that.
No, we did, and you laughed. What is your great what is a great bingeable game for you? Like something you just sit down and play, and you're like,
for me,
this is really good.
It's basically the Kirby series game, or at least the mini games of each of them. After all, when you how do you get on deep, but also pretty fun too.
Fair enough. My favorite Kirby mini game still is Quick Draw from Kirby Superstar, where I'm like, that'd be cool if they had a Kirby ability where he turns into a little samurai and just slices and dices people. I thought like that was such a missed opportunity.
And they brought it back in Nightmare in Dreamland.
I know, but I just think that should be an ability. Like maybe if they ever make a Kirby game where you can combine two, where you like get like an ability mixer, like you combine Sword Kirby and Cutter Kirby, and you get Samurai Kirby. And his big thing is that he can do like a quick draw thing that can like one shot kill enemies. Like that'd be cool.
They did that in Kirby 64 and Star Allies.
Yeah, but Kirby 64 kind of sucked. It's not a very good Kirby.
Ouch.
It's not. Come on, that's not a good Kirby game. It looked cool because it was in pseudo 3D, but it's not.
Game. I mean, I like 64 for the completionist aspect, finding all the crystals, not all the beeping cards. I mean, come on, I to get those as is.
Yeah, it's just I mean, coming off of Kirby's Dream Land 2 and 3, and Kirby Superstar and going to Kirby 64, which, look, the ability to combine two abilities and get a new ability is cool. I get that. But there weren't nearly as many ability combinations as you might think. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, kind of limited.
Yeah, it was, and the game was a little too
straightforward.
Yeah. It felt like a step back. Aside from the graphical, it felt like Kirby 64 felt like Klonoa, but a shittier version of Klonoa. Because Klonoa is actually, like, art style wise, they're very similar. You're on a semi 3D. It's a 2D platform in a 3D space, and you're like you have very limited attacks, but you use that to traverse the environment. But Klonoa is better than Kirby 64. Like, much better. It's a better game. I think Kirby 64 is one of the weakest Kirby games I've ever played. I think the only one that's maybe worse is the Kirby game where it's like all these mini Kirbys and you don't really have abilities.
Mass Attack.
Yeah, Mass Attack.
Yeah, that was kind of weak too, in my opinion. That's my own,
I like Mass Attack, but the Kirby main game of Mass Attack, it was a pain.
Yeah. We have another question from our comments. Which Nintendo game fan base is as bad as the Sonic fan base? This is Weister20. Who wants to dive into that one?
Oh, let's see. You've got the Metroid fan base, the Star Fox fan base, the Pokemon fan base, the Smash
Brothers fan base. Yeah.
The Zelda fan base.
Here's what I'll say.
Come on, save some for the rest of us.
I'll say the worst fan base, in my opinion, is the Metroid fan base. More so than the Smash, because a lot of the Smash fan base, they at least played other Smash games. They had played at least 2 out of 4 of them. So I'll give they played half of the franchise. Most of the even the Pokemon fan base, you have people who the Pokemon fan base, from what I've seen, is split into like 3 different groups. You got the originalists, which are people that played red, blue, and yellow, or gold and silver, and that's what they like, and they want every Pokemon to be like those, right? And then you have like the people after that, the people who like Emerald and Sapphire, and they're like, they want every Pokemon to be like those. And then you have the black and white people who want every Pokemon to be like those. Now me, I played, I'm kind of an originalist, but I don't poo-poo the other Pokemon. They have things that I like about them. They have things that I don't like about them, but I'm not like, your Pokemon is less valid than mine. I'm not one of those people. But the Metroid fan base is the worst in my opinion, because they're like, well, Metroid needs to be this, 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 and this. Well, how many Metroid games have you played? Oh, I only played Metroid Prime. Then you need to shut the fuck up.
Oh yes. Continuing on with the Metroid fan base, AA also posted an image showing some kind of poll asking if anyone has played Metroid 2 before, and the majority of the people voted no.
Yeah, I mean,
doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I mean, the Metroid fan base is the worst because basically you have people who are ignorant of the franchise, but they think that their opinion is more valid than people that have been with it since the beginning. Like most of the people who think that Metroid Prime is the main franchise of the series. It's not. Metroid Prime is a spinoff. The original Metroids are 2D. They're 2D with a time limit, and if you don't complete it in a certain amount of time, you get the shitty ending. That's what Metroid was.
I was going to say.
Basically, if you don't complete the game in a certain amount of time, you won't get Samus wearing a bikini or something.
Yeah, which is why a lot of people didn't know. And to be fair, the first Metroid game didn't really have a map. You kind of had to make your own map. It was kind of confusing. You didn't know where you had to go, what you had to do.
Metroid and Metroid 2 were hard to work through those.
Well, Metroid 2 gave you a radar, so you could at least figure out, okay, I have to go in this direction because there's Metroids this way. Metroid 1 didn't give you shit. Metroid 1's like, hey, I'm going to drop your ass in this shaft. You got 30 HP. Good luck, bitch. Like that was. Like,
I was gonna say the 30 HP is the troll.
Yeah, here's what I'll say about the first Metroid. Thank God they made Metroid Zero Mission. It's much better than the first Metroid. I would tell anyone if you're gonna play
yes,
play Zero Mission, don't play the original because Zero Mission is much better. But yeah, like the Metroid fan base is the worst in my opinion. It's basically they love talking about how they oh man, I love Metroid. Metroid needs to be this, and this, and it's like, well, have you played any of the other Metroid games? No. Then, like I said, you need to be quiet. That's like someone coming up to me and saying I'm a Star Wars fan, and all they've seen is The Force Awakens. They didn't watch the original trilogy. They didn't watch the prequel trilogy. They didn't read any of the books. They didn't play the video games. But they're a fucking expert on Star Wars. Really, you need to shut the fuck up.
Oh God, I can hear you ramming right through there.
People are like, I'm a Harry Potter fan. Well, did you read any of the books? No. Did you see any of the movies? I saw one of them. Hey, you need to shut up. Seriously, shut up. Go educate yourself. Go learn more about your subject matter, and then you can talk shit to me about what is and is not the way this franchise needs to be. But yeah, the Metroid fans are the worst because basically they, like I said, they talk authoritatively about things that they know nothing about. Like they didn't play the first Metroid or even Zero Mission, the remake. They didn't play Fusion. They didn't play Other M, which in my opinion is kind of the weakest one in the mainline franchise. They didn't play. Yeah, they didn't play Super Metroid. They didn't play Metroid 2: Return of Samus or Samus Returns. Oh, we're joined by A-Rod. How's it going? I mean, AJ, how's it going, sir?
Sick, unfortunately.
That's a shame. I hope you're not too sick.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
I'm a bit sick as well because allergy season.
Yeah, allergies were kicking my ass yesterday because like there's an oak tree that my neighbor has that's right over it's a maple. It's right over my car, and the maple has just been horny as hell. It's been dropping pollens all over this car. And I'm like, man, I can't. Oh, Jesus. Like, I get in my car, and it feels like someone punched me in the nose like 3 or 4 times.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's kicking my ass. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, we're answering some viewer subscribed questions, and it's this is from Weister20. Which Nintendo game fan base is as bad as the Sonic fan base? And Pinky Don said it was like 6. He said the Zelda fan base, the Smash fan base, if
I put mine down first?
Pokemon. Let's see. I mentioned
Pokemon fan base.
I mentioned Metro. Oh yeah, and I also forgot about the Fire Emblem fan base.
The Fire Emblem fan base. But let's look at the opposite. But what do you think is the worst, Alex?
Yeah, I'd say Metroid and Fire Emblem hands down.
Yeah, but I don't think the Fire Emblem is as bad because Fire Emblem just got popular just a few years ago.
But then you got the hipster fans who are claiming, "Oh, Awakening sucks. Fate sucks. It's because it's popular."
Here's what I'll say about Fire Emblem. I'll say that Fire Emblem, since it got popular, I think Nintendo got kind of a little overboard with that fucking DLC, especially the prices of the DLC. Like it's ridiculous. I've never felt like Nintendo was raping my wallet, but that DLC, I was like, no, I refuse to buy any of this DLC. For any of it.
Are you talking about Fates, the DLC for Fates or Awakening?
I think the DLC for all of them is pretty bad since they started adding it. Awakening was cool because they gave some of the DLC for free when you bought it. Like if you got it at a certain time, you'd get some of the DLC for free. And I think some of the maps weren't that bad. It was like, okay, if you want the gold map, if you want the experience map, that was like $1.99 or 99 cents. It wasn't that bad. But Awakening, some of the DLC for Fates was just like, God damn, no. No.
Oh yeah.
No. I felt they were taking advantage of people. And that's why I didn't get any of the DLC for Faith. I was like, nope, you're on your own.
Yeah, I think they could have handled that a lot better.
Yeah, they could have. But I mean, Nintendo, look, they're a business. They're trying to make money. I hope they learned their lesson because I don't think they made nearly as much money off that DLC as they thought they were going to make. Because people were like, "Fuck you, man." That's what I think. And I wouldn't blame them because that's how I felt. Yes, folks.
We're talking about E3 right now, right?
No. We covered a lot of it already. We're on the question part of it, but there you go, folks.
Damn,
we're Nintendo fans. We're Nintendo fans, but we call them out on their bullshit too. Yep. You know, I know a lot of people like to think, "Oh, you're a Nintendo fan. You just let them slide on everything." No, if they look, I was the first person who said, "Hey, man, this Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze shit, some bullshit. I'm not buying it." And I'm not getting it. I'm not getting the re-release of the Tropical Freeze. I already have that game on the Wii U anyway. And basically me getting it again is like me spending $60. Well, because I got it for $40, and if I'd have held on, I could have gotten it for $20. But but that's like me spending $20 for Funky Kong. Hell no.
Yeah. If they do a real release for Tokyo Mirage Sessions on the Switch, I'm not buying it.
Not
because I already have it on the Wii U.
Not unless they add some significant content to it. Like if it's just a re-release, no, I don't need that. I don't need that. Like I don't need, I'm not, and here's the thing, it's not even like I'm not a cheap bastard. I spend money, I make money, but I like people to appreciate my dollar, and that's not appreciating my dollar when I already bought the shit once. And then you're gonna make a minor edition, and I got to spend full market price for it again, which is some bullshit. That's some Square Enix shit right there.
That's some like online Earthbound scalper shit right there.
Yeah.
Like $500 for this cartridge only Earthbound. $1,000 for a box copy of Earthbound.
Yeah. I'm just glad I have my original thing. But here we have another question from Weister20. Weister20, thank you for being a great viewer and asking all of these questions. You, sir, are one of our heroes, or lady. I really don't know your gender. Do any of you think a Metroid Cross Star Fox crossover game would work?
Wasn't that part of a rumor that
iffy? Because there's certain aspects of Star Fox and Metroid have to be considered before you even go there. Star Fox is in space, while Samus is a horror of sorts.
I think if you had a thing where Samus got into a wormhole, or Fox McCloud got to a wormhole, and they crash landed on this, or they went to this different sector of a galaxy they've never been to, you could have them interact. You just have portions where you'd have Fox McCloud and Samus. Like Samus would be in her gunship blowing shit up, and Fox McCloud would be in his R-Wing blowing shit up. You could have on the ground portions where they go around, Metroid style finding stuff. Maybe you have Samus would be more powerful on the ground, whereas Fox maybe would have a melee attack. Maybe a beam saber from Smash Brothers would be his melee attack. I don't know. It could work. It could totally work. Maybe you switch between the two characters.
Yeah, and they actually would give Fox more of a variable weapon instead and battle style that he could use in Smash.
I'd be cool with it.
Instead of just blaster.
I'd be cool with it. It wouldn't bother me to do a Star Fox Cross Smash Brothers, Star Fox Cross Metroid crossover. You just can have it be set in the. Well, you could. It would be interesting to have Fox McCloud get in a wormhole and go to the Metroid universe, Because it would be hilarious to see Fox McCloud try and kill a Metroid. What the hell? I shot this thing like 30 times and it's not doing anything. What the hell?
Actually, I was thinking about, like, what about a Metroid or Resident Evil crossover, or a Metroid game that's like Resident Evil in some way? I mean, but the closest thing we got to a Resident Evil-like Metroid game was Fusion.
Yeah, but if they were going to do...
Will it include tank controls?
As long as it doesn't have tank controls. I think you could do a Metroid horror game if it didn't star Samus. Like, what if you were a researcher at a Federation hidden base where the Metroids got out and you're trying to survive, and that's just it? Like, you don't have the training, you don't have any power suit. Maybe you just got a little like shitty gun, and you just got to do the best you can to survive. Now that would be a horror.
What about some space pirates popping out of nowhere?
Yeah, maybe you could have a 3-act structure in the game, and maybe after the first act, you're like, okay, I've made it to this part. All I have to do is make it to the escape bay, and I get to the shuttle bay, and I can get the hell out of here. Oh shit, pirates are attacking this base too. So now I have to.
Or even worse, the X parasite from Fusion.
Anything? Well, I mean, I think the X parasite's a little too far, but.
And the Starbucks is a Western, while Samus is a horror, and oh god.
I think
if you'll now.
I think between the Metroid parasite, I mean the Metroids and space pirates attacking this base, and then you realize, well, shit, there's no Samus around here, so I have to destroy this research so that they can't get their hands on this Metroid research while escaping, while hiding from these dudes. I don't have a power suit. I don't have power bombs. I don't have any of this shit. I got to just do the best I can. Like I think that would be a really tense, horrifying situation, and I think that could be a really good game. I mean, I think Metroid has. I think between Metroid and Legend of Zelda, I think those are two franchises that really need spin-offs that expand the universe and don't focus so much on the main characters so much. But that's just me.
And alongside with Pirates, we could also slap in Ridley, but he may be too big of a boss for.
I think Ridley. I think Ridley would be overwhelming because. I mean, the whole point of a horror is that you're overwhelmed. You're not Samus Aran. You're just a normal dude, and really would be too much.
That's why I said he may be too big because he's.
What about Kraid?
Kraid would be cool. Yeah. Because we know if I mean, I don't know about you guys, but if you read any of the Metroid mangas that came out from Japan,
I read like
they only came out in Japan, which kind of sucks, but. Like basically the space pirates have their own internal thing going on where Ridley and Kraid kind of are jockeying to be number one, because Kraid is more like, okay, we need to be careful on which hyperspace lanes we hit, like who we hit. We need to be like cool about it, because if we do too much, the Federation is going to come and take out our bases. So we need to be like, like cool with it. Whereas Ridley is a fucking maniac. He'll just do whatever. And then Mother Brain is like the overlord over all of them. But every time, like when Mother Brain gets taken out, they're still sniping at each other. So, I mean, yeah, you could have that. Like maybe Ridley's like, maybe Kraid's like, look, we're trying to get this genetic material so we can clone our own Metroids, and we got to be cool. Let's use our inside man at this base. And Ridley's like, fuck that. We're just gonna go and blast. Yeah. Maybe you have that dichotomy. Maybe you have Ridley and Kraid fight each other, and that's how you get out of it. You make them fight each other, and you surreptitiously sneak out the room like, okay, if I can make it to this shuttle bay, I can get the hell out of here and blow up this base. I'm scot-free. I don't know. And Weister says, I'm a dude. Thank you. Okay, Weister. And he also says Star Fox had the Aperoids. Yeah, the bug monsters were kind of Metroids, but not really. Because they absorbed people, but then you got the people back. Like, they absorbed General Pepper, but you got his ass back. So, and Peppy. Peppy's like, yeah, I'm back. They thought you killed me, but I'm back. whatever. So let's get to our final question. What is your least favorite game in an otherwise popular franchise?
Oh, for me, that would be Pokemon Gold and Silver.
Yeah, I can understand that. The starters aren't nearly as good in Gold and Silver as they are in
Not to mention all the Johto Pokemon are overshadowed by the Kanto Pokemon, and the Kanto region itself was all barren. Little to no side quests whatsoever.
Well, I won't go that far. I'll just say that the Johto region just to me had like the starters were shittier in Johto than they were because your Cyndaquil evolves into what Typhlosion.
Yep.
And Typhlosion is a pure fire type.
And it has literally the same base stats as Charizard.
Yeah, but it's pure fire type. So basically, it has a weakness to water, a weakness to earth. It's not it's just not a very good fire type. It looks cool, but it's not a good fire type. Cyndaquil, sorry, not Cyndaquil. Meganium, the giant plant type. It's just pure plant.
The giant plant sauropod.
Yeah, I don't know.
The only good one is Alligator, who actually gets a good hidden ability called Sheer Force, which powers up any alien moves that has secondary effects like the elemental punches.
Yeah. Alex, your least favorite game in an otherwise popular franchise?
Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, I can understand that. That's not very good. Jewel? Jewel?
Uh-oh.
Oh, looks like Jewel may be busy.
All right. Okay. The least favorite game in an otherwise popular franchise for me is, and I know this is going to sound kind of bad, but I mean, everyone knows I don't like Final Fantasy VII. I'm not wedded to it, but I'm going to say a Nintendo franchise. I don't really like Fire Emblem Fates that much. I'm not oh my god, this is the best Fire Emblem ever. I think Awakening was a better game.
No, I think everyone agrees. I think most Fire Emblem fans will agree with you that Fates is not the best. Isn't that great because story-wise at least, because how little sense it makes. No matter which path you take.
The reason I think Fates kind of isn't as good is just because a lot of the gameplay features that were cool in Awakening that should have carried over kind of just are gotten rid of for the castle system and stuff like that. I think they should have refined a lot of the stuff they had in Awakening and kept it in Fates, but they didn't. Jewel, speak up. Okay.
I'm still here.
Okay, Jewel, this is the last question. What is your least favorite game in an otherwise popular franchise?
Favorite game in a more popular franchise?
Yep.
Ooh. That's Super Mario Bros. Series, really. Because some of those jumps are trying to get right.
What Super Mario? Which one of this? Super Mario Brothers U, Super Mario Brothers Wii.
Basically, first Super Mario Bros.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that one. I mean, that game. I think that game kind of overshadows Super Mario Brothers 2, which everyone's like, well, that was just Doki Doki Planet reskinned. But a lot of the innovations in Doki Doki Planet 2. AKA Super Mario Brothers USA, actually have carried over more than in Super Mario Brothers, the first one. Mario can actually jump out of the water in Super Mario Brothers. He can't jump out of the water in Super Mario Brothers 2. Enemies can, but you can't. So yeah, I have to agree. So that's the end of our podcast. Anything you guys want to pimp out, promote? Oh wait, Weister has one more question. Think we'll hear anything about Shin Megami Tensei 5 during E3?
We should hear about something about it.
I mean, I would like to hear something about it. I mean,
also the new Tales game is for Switch as well.
Namco Bandai. I don't know, man.
I also have something else to discuss.
Okay, go ahead.
News has revealed that the 3DS will keep being sold until the Switch becomes a one-per-person system.
Well, the Switch isn't going to become a one-per-person system unless they drop the price of the Switch, like at least by $100. Like if it's because right now, what the Switch is like, what, $299?
Plus, the Switch is able to get up to 4 players, so no need to buy a separate Switch for your other.
No, the Switch is like $299. Like that's a home console price, and a home console there's normally one per household. So yeah.
Even though I cringed about those, they're pretty cheap, really, when trying to get another console.
Well, I mean, they're basically $80 for a 2-pack of Joy-Cons, 80 or 90, I think. I think if you can get them on sale, maybe like 75, 70. Let's see, what do I think? I mean, this is kind of going off on a tangent, but we still have a little bit of time before we have to wrap things up. I think that they're going to continue to support the 3DS until like 2019, 2020, and I think they'll come out with a new handheld. They'll probably announce it in 2019 and release it in 2020.
What do you think it'll be called? The 4DS?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Weird question.
I don't know.
Well, it can't be called the 4DS because 4D is supposed to indicate that you're feeling the action itself.
I don't know what their next handheld's going to be. I just think it's going to be backwards compatible with the 3DS because they want to keep that audience. And it's 75 million at this point. Why not keep those people in the family? And you know, it's probably going to be a lower price point than the Switch, and I think it's going to be portable and stuff like that. And it's probably going to be compatible with the Switch. Like you might be able to use it as a second screen, something like that.
And I should ask Alex, what games are you looking forward this year, as well as your enthusiasm for E3 on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, obviously I'm looking forward to Shin Megami Tensei 5 and the new Tales game. And for this C3, probably, let's see here. It's probably my enthusiasm is probably in between like a 5 or a 6. E3's kind of let me down as of late.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're a Nintendo fan, E3's like, yeah, they showed off this really awesome game, but it's been delayed, or when it comes out, it's mediocre. So, it's like, how many times are they going to lie to me about this shit?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, yeah. So are we putting out our new stuff on VGF?
Let's see. Well, so far I've only posted my Splatfest article as well as my Smash Sunday, where I do a critique on people's top 10 lists for characters they want in Smash for Switch. And that's about it. Really.
I don't know. I don't know which characters I want to see. Like at this point, like here's the thing. In terms of the gameplay mechanics and the multiplayer and the online, Smash Brothers has pretty much nailed it with Smash Brothers 4. Now we need more features in it, like a better single player or a more modes in the multiplayer.
People still want Ridley in Smash as a playable character.
Whatever, I don't care.
Whoa, there.
I'd rather have King Krul or Earthworm Jim or Simon Belmont or Goemon from Mystical Ninja.
Or Leon S. Kennedy from Resident Evil.
Yeah, Leon! My man. I'll tell you, look, Leon is a white dude with like the blackest name ever. Leon! How's it going, Leon?
And he happens to share the same name as one of the least popular Final Fantasy protagonists.
Leon. I don't remember.
Leon.
Leon.
Because he goes. Oh yeah, he only goes by Leon in the Kingdom Hearts games. His real name is Squall.
Oh, that asshole, yeah. And if Leon was in Smash Brothers, his ultimate smash will be him pulling out that rocket launcher from Resident Evil 4 and just firing infinite missiles while he's got the smash active.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm Leon, bitch. With that lame ass move.
I also don't get why Travis Touchdown hasn't been added into Smash yet.
Oh well, Scooter51 just recently had an interview saying that if you want to get Travis Touchdown in Smash, then you gotta ask. Then he always has to ask for him first, which means he's not at the base roster, but he will be DLC at least.
Yeah,
that's how you can tell which third-party character may not be in the base roster.
You know, I would like to see Travis Touchdown in a Smash Brothers game more than I would like to see Cloud Strife in a Smash Brothers game. Like I said, I would rather see Travis Touchdown in a Smash game because Travis Touchdown is so fun. He's a fun character.
Because as of right now, the only third-party guys who are more likely to get in roster are either Queryman, Bomberman, Shantae, or Gino.
Well, Earthworm Jim, Simon Belmont.
Oh yes, I forgot about Earthworm Jim.
Goemon. I mean, there's lots of old characters that started on Nintendo platforms.
Yeah. Speaking of which, also like probably like a month ago, I did a list on like anime characters you'd like to see in Smash Bros. Even though it's highly unlikely.
Yeah, because there's a role on no non-video game characters in the roster.
I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Overall, I liked. That was a nice little tangent we went on. Let's pimp out our stuff and then wrap it up. Jewel, since you're getting kind of sleepy, Jewel, give your sign off and then we'll.
I woke up a little because I was trying to honestly trying to because I was trying to figure out myself a little.
Okay.
Right. This is Jewelry Eli Moonstar for tuning in for tonight, and sorry for a little bit of slowness on my end. It's
That's
quite
okay.
slow at this end.
You're human. We're all human.
And of course, I'd like to thank my other friends that joins me here today.
All right.
And let's see. And this is Piggy Dodd from Video Game Facts. Be sure to visit that website where we talk about facts and opinions on the Gamosphere. Even both me and Alex are mods in that Discus channel. So be sure.
I recently put up a Ubisoft rant article.
Oh boy!
Yeah, but it's so easy to just to rant on Ubisoft because they can't help themselves.
And Trogger just recently posted an article about the whole another Final Fantasy VII controversy, like in regards to Cyber Connect having to delete one employee from Cyber Connect having to delete everything that he's talked about development of the Final Fantasy VII remake. Like how they restarted everything from scratch.
Yeah, but they did. I mean, let's just keep it real. Square Enix doesn't have the money to basically just develop that game. So that's why they're kind of like just throwing shit together at this point.
They're basically still stuck in their 90s mindset where they feel they can do no wrong and they're just one big hit away from gold.
Yeah, like I said, Final Fantasy VII is not here's the thing. Final Fantasy VII, if it comes out, is going to come out. It's not going to sell nearly as well as the original Final Fantasy VII did because gamers just aren't like that anymore. Like you can't. Nope. Like gamers are jaded from the shitty marketing we've had where it has wonderful marketing and the game comes out and it's mediocre. You've changed the gameplay, so the game is very different from what it used to be. From what I've seen, it's like an action RPG and not a straight-up turn-based combat RPG, which is kind of fucking stupid for a Final Fantasy game.
Kingdom Hearts RPG.
Yeah, it's Kingdom Hearts gameplay. Whatever. It's Square Enix. if let me put it this way, if they're in the middle of a football field and there's a pile of shit, a dog went to the bathroom in the middle of the field at the 50-yard line, Square Enix will find a way to step into that pile of shit, even though there's all these other places where they don't have to step into it, because that's Square Enix. They will find a way to fuck it up.
Yeah. I don't think Tetsuya Nomura knows what he's doing anymore. Still living in the glory days of the 90s. I mean, I could picture him listening to some Nirvana while sporting a mohawk and holding a PS1 controller.
I don't think he ever knew what the hell he was doing. I think that Square Enix was riding off of the high of Final Fantasy VII. And then basically, like, they fired their golden goose, which was
Sakaguchi, right?
Sakaguchi, and basically they handed the reins over to this jackass Nomura, and he basically helped run the franchise into the ground. Like, the dude who created Final Fantasy 13 made three shitty games.
He also
He's still fucking working there.
Yeah. Matomu Toriyama is like a total creep.
Yeah, like they asked him Final Fantasy 13, like, how did you make Lightning into a better character? Well, I made her boobs bigger. Like, really?
Really?
Seriously? He's like, yeah, I made her into a D cup, which this is a Japanese D cup, so it's not really a D cup. But he's like, yeah, I made her boobs bigger. I'm like, really? Like, this stoic, shitty ass character, and that's how you made her better. You gave her a bigger bust. Wow, you're a great game developer, not.
Oh, yeah.
And Square Enix wonders why they can't make good RPGs anymore. Like, why can't we make good RPGs anymore? Because you got motherfuckers like that working for you. That's why.
Yep.
But that's neither here nor there. Let's. Who wants to give their sign off? Jewel just gave hers. Who else wants to go?
Oh, I also, last week I put up a review for Resident Evil 7.
Is that game out yet?
Oh,
It's
that
been out
game
since
came out
last
like
year.
a year ago.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
that tells how much I gave a shit about it. I didn't even know.
It's actually not that bad.
Yeah, isn't that the one that like has like three different like four different protagonists and you play through each of them? Or is that no? That's the one that's almost like a horror where you're in that nasty.
That's
ass house.
6. That's 6, I think.
Yeah, that's the one where you're in that nasty ass house with that inbred family.
Oh yeah, that's Resident Evil 7.
It's actually 7's not that bad. I mean, I played it. It's a lot like the old school games. It borrows a lot of elements from the first 3 games, especially RE3.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the tank controls, which is a smart move.
Mm-hmm. Also brought back the item boxes,
Good.
And the save. They brought back the traditional Metroidvania formula that made the series great in the first place.
Yeah. I think they kind of hit the balancing point in Resident Evil with 4, where you had the action segments, you had the action that people wanted, while you still retained the old school shit that people liked. And then they kind of effed it up with 5 with that racist ass. Like, I'm like, yeah, this is a great costume. We'll have this lady who's from North Africa wear a cheetah skin robe and a bone in her nose. Like, motherfucker, who okayed this? Who said, yeah, this is going to be great?
Yeah, and then came the dumpster fire. That was 6.
Well, the Leon Kennedy portion was pretty good, but aside from that, it was pretty bad. But I'll have to say that part where Barry, not Barry, that guy, I forgot the dude's name. He punches. Yeah, he punches a rock in order to stop a volcano.
You mean Chris Redfield?
Yeah, Chris. I was like, oh shit, no. Forget jumping the shark. Punching a volcano.
I was gonna say, jumping the shark. That's planet.
They need that motherfucker in Hawaii right now. Well, stop Kilauea from Mount Kilauea from erupting. Oh!
It's as ridiculous as John Cena stopping a boulder in that Scooby-Doo movie with the WWE.
You also have that that Fast and Furious movie where The Rock punches a torpedo out of the way.
How you punch a torpedo out of the way without blowing yourself up? I will never be.
Because he's The Rock. That's why. Hey, don't be asking no questions. It's The Rock.
And people wonder why the Scooby-Doo series is times.
But yeah, so we got some good stuff on Discus. You guys should go. Video Game Facts. The Discus blog. It's a great place for great conversation, and it doesn't have a lot of trolls. Thank God. Knock on wood for that.
But we did suffer some bot invasions last week.
Yeah, but you know that you're gonna have some assholes everywhere you go. But it's not it's not like that dumpster fire that used to be. What was it called? Player Essence.
Yep.
Dumpster fire. But that's neither here nor there. I guess I'll give my sign off. This is Mr. Red Fox. I thought we were gonna have a short podcast, but hey, look, some good conversation is good for everybody. So with that being said, leave your comments, your questions, your concerns, everything you'd like to say. We'll save it for next week's BS Busters. We'll be talking about some good stuff. I was about to say good shit, but good stuff. So basically, yeah, stay with that, and that's the end of this podcast. Rate, comment, share, subscribe. Go to videogamefacts.com. Alex 9234. So that's your
Yep.
Alex 9234. Great articles. Those articles are fucking awesome. There should be like a little composition of where his articles are because they are really deep and they're really good. Pinky Dunn's topics, great. And of course, Joe Ryder's Moonstar's thought-provoking questions and queries, also really good. I don't really do much there. Sometimes I just get inspired and I write something, but not a lot. But yeah, it's all great stuff. That being said, that's the end of this podcast. Good night.
And drink